Hello, welcome to my channel Visa Talks with K. So, have you just been refused a Canada study visa and you are afraid of reapplying, or you've been refused Canada study visa multiple times? Then I encourage you to watch this video for your solution. So, this video provides details of how we're able to obtain three reasons, refusal reasons, bordering on insufficient and financial situation, no significant ties to home country, inconsistent purpose of visit, and documentation lacking authenticity, right? So these reasons were reoccurring in the three previous refusals that this applicant got. So the first refusal focused on all the four reasons I had mentioned earlier, while the second refusal, after we had responded to the first issue of the refusal, the second refusal came and it focused on just two reasons, while the third refusal focused on just one reason. Then after the third refusal, of course, an application was made again, and on the fourth time, the applicant got the visa. So join me, let me show you what we did differently to get this visa approved. Okay, so welcome back. So here are the application timeline. So the first application was made in August 21, 2023, and unfortunately the refusal letter was released in September 6, 2023. And based on these reasons, like I mentioned, there were four reasons at the initial refusal. The first reason was, you'll be seeing it on the screen. So the first reason was around your assets and financial situations were insufficient to support your stated purpose of travel, for yourself or even for your family members. It's like that, that long line sentence I don't like reading, I don't like seeing, right? Then the second reason was that you don't have significant family ties outside Canada. The third reason was that your purpose of visit was not consistent with a temporary stay, given the details you provided on your application. While the fourth one, which actually gave us huge concern, was that the document that we submitted lacked authenticity, right? That was a huge blow because we felt it has actually affected the application in terms of either a ban or not a ban. But of course, as experienced as I am, I knew that wasn't a ban, but then the applicant they were really, really furious about that. So this is the issue. So out of these four reasons, we had to reapply again, attending to each of the reasons for refusal. Of course, finances, the bank statements were very well funded. We had huge amounts of money, not even just depositing. They had consistent 6 month proof of funds. Actually, for this application, it was a sponsor. So the sponsor had that huge consistent money for 6 months. So there were no issues around maybe considering maybe using proof of funds company or something, or the money wasn't there. So the money was there really. Then of course, unfortunately for these applicants, our both parents were late, and of course our brothers and some of our extended family members were in Nigeria, so we actually reportressed that as the family ties in our home country. Then thirdly, so for the third reason, which is where the purpose of visit is not consistent with the application we submitted. Well, I mean, that only makes sense because it kind of tied to the fourth reason, where the documents, where they mentioned that document lacked authenticity. And why that happened was just because this applicant had over at least 400 pages of documents. You can imagine. So, and for meeting the file size limit, it has to be 4 MB, right? So we have to now compress. So at the point of compressing, I mean, for the bank statement alone, the sponsor had over, I think, around 120 something pages document for bank statement. So you can imagine and the more the document, the more the file size, of course. So we have to compress, including relationship with our family, whole family pictures, birth certificate, a whole lot to show that yes, there's a relationship with our sponsor. And of course, that would go into where the same space where the bank statements will be uploaded. So we compressed everything, and at the point of compressing, unfortunately, it affected the bank statement. It distorted it so well that I'm sure when the Chinook tool, which they use in assessing documents, when you saw the document, it quickly flagged it as what's it called, as a fake document, or a document that lacks authenticity. So what did we do again before we applied? Of course, the almighty GCMS note was queried, we requested for the GCMS note, and of course, in that note, we discovered basically, so the major concern on the note were on the document. So what they had said was that the document, when they looked at it, it didn't conform with other similar documents that has emanated from Nigeria. So that alone raised a very red flag, and it diminished the overall credibility of the application. So that led us to the second application that we did. Sorry, I'm just reading on the screen, but then I think I would also share as I upload the video. So the second application we did, we submitted after we had gotten the GCMS note, right? We submitted on December 27, 2023. So from December, it took a whole lot. It came out March 12, 2024. And what we discovered was that she was refused again, unfortunately. But thank God we got a signal that what we're doing it right? Because from the 4 reasons, they removed the document authenticity claims, and the purpose of visit was not inconsistent with the temporary, that those 2 reasons were removed, and they just left us with, again, financial assets and the insufficient financial assets, and of course, again, the family tie. So it was evident that we didn't do enough to prove that as a point. So what did we do? Again, this time around, again, the sponsor was used. We didn't deviate from that, because we don't want to kind of move the monies into the applicant's account, and it raises a red flag again. So we did that. We left that as it were. Then what we also did was, we were thinking, okay, the monies were not enough, because this time around we didn't bother using the GCMS notes. We uploaded, we upgraded the money on the proof of funds for the sponsor. We had somewhat around additional 7-8 million added to what they had before. And for the family ties, unfortunately, like I said, father, mother late. Of course, on the SOP, we had a good justification. We had a very strong SOP, basically, to explain what she will be doing when she goes and come back. In short, even our company actually wrote a letter to validate that she's going on a career. She would be useful when she comes back, because she's kind of doing a career transition. So after studying, she would use that to come back to her home country to get the job. I mean, to get promoted, into that top managerial role, which was very clear and was very direct. So we now looked at what do we do as family ties, looking at that she doesn't have family members in her home country. Then we now curated whatever we're going to do around our relationship. Fortunately for her, she has a fiancé that they're working together to get married, but this relationship has gone way beyond. It's a way back relationship. Let me use that word. I think they've been dating since while they're in their early days in university. So they had good pictures that showed good timelines of how they were able to, how they growing up. So young pictures, middle pictures, old pictures, and all that. So we compressed everything together. We got some supporting letters from our boyfriend to say that, or our fiancé to say that, this is the person he's intending to marry, and is supporting her to go on the trip. And so when they come back, they will be married, eventually. So we did all that story, added it to as an additional paragraph to the SOP, and we submitted. Unfortunately, again, in April, we applied, and in June, unfortunately, she was refused. But guess what? The issues around proof of home ties was dropped. So again, it showed that we are doing something real good, that is making the visa refusals, reasons for visa refusals reduced from the first one we had 4 to now that we have only 1. Of course, visa refusals are not good, right? But then because Canada has the GCMS note system where you can know why you were refused, that has helped this application greatly. So that's one thing you also need to know. That, and again, I think if you watch this video, you're watching this video now, you would have learned from some of the things I had mentioned, right? In terms of doing what you need to do in terms of showing what the supporting documents are, But again, let me don't deviate. I'll do like a summary of what I've said so far at the last line. So you just do well to continue to watch. So after we had applied, like I said, the reason for refusal was just reduced to one rather. So at this point, it was still the same assets and financial situation insufficient to support the purpose of travel. And all this while, the sponsor has been used. Monies have been, there and all that. So we're curious to know why. So at this point, we applied for the GCMS note. And guess what? It was more of the sources of those funds. Even though we had put them right from the onset, right from the first application, the sources of the funds were clearly proved. The sole family properties, evidence of those family properties legally notarized, stamped by the High Court. Everything was clear, but unfortunately, maybe because of too much documentation, the visa officer missed out that point. So she was refused again on just that ground. So the GCMS note said, oh, the source of funds were not clear. Imagine when we even was on the form. So, and guess what? Again, we had actually applied again. Redoing the old documentation, removing some things that we feel were not necessary again, and doing the application again. And at that time, we now moved a chunk part of the funds into the applicant's account. So she now became a self-sponsored person, even when the sponsor. It was clear that the sponsor from the onset was the person that transferred the money into her account. So she became the primary sponsor at that point. And when we did that, we now kind of, like I said, applied for the GCMS note. And when the GCMS note came and we saw that, it was source of funds, we quickly now went back to our application that we had already submitted, like the documents we have already submitted, right? Extracted the sources of those funds, because we had them in documentary forms. We extracted it, and so what we did as source of funds now was the like I said, they were already uploaded ab initio. So, but again, we just took that as a subset to add to our application again to clarify this. So we wrote a piece of letter to say, oh, we just got this GCMS note and we are submitted, but we are now re-uploading these separate documents extracted from the main document. So the source of the family land sales, the pay slips of the sponsor, business invoices of the sponsor, and I think we also added like some form like family properties, receipts from rental incomes from family properties, because all those were like summed up to our source of funds for the applicant. So those four things were extracted from the document, wrote a little line, and uploaded it on the web form, making reference to the fact that we just got the GCMS note, but we submitted, and we are now like making your work, you the visa officer, your work easier. Look at the documents that show source of funds, right? And to God be the glory, lastly, when the visa came out, she was approved visa. So I think so the storyline here is, which is the summary I'm trying to make, is that you will learn from this experience so that when you apply for your own, you apply straight up once and for all. So here are the points I would like to buttress. One, if you're using a sponsor, ensure that let me just start with this. One, you don't over document your application, because in over documenting your application, you will you will now be constrained to trying to compress. Your document loses credibility and it affects your application. That was the first lessons learned on this application. So try to reduce your document to the barest minimum. I'm sure, yes, I know that for us in Nigeria, we have to show, even for some of the other countries also, like India and the likes, you have to show a lot, even considering the fact now that the refusal trends have been becoming higher for Canada. But then, just try to assess your documents as relevant as you perceive them to be, so that when you are compressing, you don't affect your applications, the documents credibility. And one other thing you can do is, as you are trying to compress, right, on the space for proof of funds, where you need to upload your proof of financial means, you can just upload those critical documents. while documents that you want to show as a source of money should be uploaded in the space for client information. That's the addition, that you use that as additional information, so that the burden of you compressing your proof of funds, which are vital documents, is lesser, right? So that it doesn't affect. So that's what again we did. Actually, I think I missed that out. So we try to separate this so that the proof of funds documents are as clear as possible. So that is it. Reduce the amount of documents you'll be submitting at a particular time. Two, this video is getting too long, so let me just be fast. So two, try to buttress on the source of funds. Attach supporting documents that would help you prove that yes, these funds were truly sourced from this particular place for the understanding of the visa officer. Three, don't give up. Don't give up applying. As much as you are sure in as much as you're sure that you're a genuine applicant wanting to study with a genuine reason, don't give up. Always rely on the GCMS notes. If you're lucky, the visa officer that treated your case would be able to give detailed information on why he gave you those decisions. So always rely on the GCMS notes. There are free links. I can also do a video on how you can apply for a GCMS note for free. It actually takes a month to get it issued, right? So you can, if you want that video, I can find out time to take like 5-10 minutes to make that video, so that I can also guide you on how to get your GCMS notes for free, right? So ensure you rely on the GCMS notes, and you should not give up. So I think these points are, well put together to help you apply, and you apply for your Canada visa and get it at your first try. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. Thank you for always subscribing. I think my subscriber base is growing quite well, but not quite well. So please still keep on subscribing. Please keep on sharing the video. Please like, so that the YouTube algorithm can also pick it as a useful content and make it shared to the larger audience. So until that next video, thank you and stay blessed. And I wish you success in your Canada visa application. Remember, don't give up. Bye-bye.